everyone, welcome to the Tosca demo session. In this session, we are going to talk about the different Tosca features and why Tosca is an automation tool when there are so many other tools in the market. The first thing is Tosca is a codeless, scriptless automation tool. As everybody knows, there is no need for any proficiency in a particular programming language as long as you are familiar with the Tosca UI and the way you structure the test cases. Anybody can automate the scripts using Tosca. The second thing is it supports wider technologies like it supports SAP, it supports Salesforce, Oracle, web services, desktop, web application, and mobile. And not limited to these technologies, it supports around 160 plus technologies. All the technologies can be automated using Tosca. The next thing is it's a model-based test automation. When it comes to model-based test automation, whatever the screens that are in the application which you have to automate it will be converted into a module. And from the module, you'll be designing the test cases. So when you talk about the module, it contains the technical information using which you can steer the controls. Say, for example, you are going to automate a login screen. The login screen will be created as a module and the username, password, and the login action button will be converted into a module attributes. And they will hold the technical properties. And this module will be used to design the test step in the test case section. And in the test cases, you will pass the business information and the actions. So when you talk about the business information, it is like the username, password, and when you talk about the actions, it is like clicking on the login button. So this is how you design the test cases from the module. And the key advantage of Tosca is that irrespective of the technology, say for example, you are automating an SAP or you are automating a Salesforce application or a web application or API, the baseline concept of creating the module and converting the module into the test step in the test case is going to be the similar approach and it's following the similar approach across the technology. Let's see some of the differences between module-based and code-based automation tool. The first thing is on the coding requirement. In the module-based, there is no coding skill required. You can use a drag and drop approach to design the test cases. But when it comes to script-based, you should have proficiency in one of the programming languages, say for example, Java, Python, C#. You must be skilled in any one of the programming language to start with framework creation. Test creation speed, when it comes to model-based, it's going to be a faster design approach because you are relying on the modules and you have the reusable feature. And also Tosca provides a set of inbuilt components called standard modules using which you can perform various actions in the application. When it comes to script-based, it's going to be slower because you have to manually code it like 50 to 100 lines of code. You have to write it, and then when there is any issue, debugging will cost time. Maintenance effort. When it comes to model-based automation, it is of low maintenance. The changes in the application can be updated in one centralized point called module, and from there, the changes will be reflected to all the test cases. Whereas in script-based, high maintenance effort is required. You have to edit the scripts at multiple places manually. Learning curve, of course, for the module-based, it's going to be a shorter and faster learning curve. The business users and the testers can start contributing to designing the test cases without any coding knowledge. But when it comes to scripting based, a skilled programmer is required and a steep learning curve is required. Thus, being a model-based test automation tool, Tricentis Tosca is a very user-friendly tool and anybody can quickly start with automating the scripts. End-to-end testing capability in Tosca, this is not provided by many tools. Say for example, if you take Selenium, you can automate only the only the web applications. And when it comes to APM, you can automate only the mobile application. But that is not the case in Tosca. You can automate a scenario which flows from web application to a database application or a mobile application. Say for example, consider a banking application which starts with the web application flow and passes to the middle layer or the API layer and connects with the mainframe for the batch execution and then connects back to the database layer, and from the database layer, the data flows to the web application. In such a complex business scenario, which is involving multiple interfaces or technologies, the end-to-end business process can be automated using Tosca without any major challenge. So this allows seamless integration testing across the system boundaries, right from UI interaction to the backend data verification. Easy to maintain and adapt to the application changes. So when there is any changes in the application screen, you need not go and modify it in each and every test cases. At a centralized point, you can make the changes to the module using rescan feature. And once the changes are updated to the module, it gets automatically reflected to all the test cases. So maintenance effort is going to be less and maintenance is going to be faster. The next feature is about the reusability, otherwise called as reusable test step block or libraries. Say, for example, in each test case, you have the login flow and logout flow. So instead of going and writing the login flow and logout flow in each test cases, I'm just taking an example of login and logout, irrespective of that any other process which is going to be repeated in multiple test cases. Those process you can create it as a library, and that library can be referenced into the multiple test cases. Advantage of library is when there is any change happening into the test process, instead of going and modifying it in all the test cases individually, you can do the modification in the library and that gets automatically reflected to all the test cases. That's the advantage of using the reusable tested block, otherwise called as libraries. Data-driven testing in Tosca. In general, when you talk about the data-driven testing, it is about repeating the testing with multiple test data or the different test process flow. For example, I'm taking the example of a demo web shop web application, which is an e-commerce application provided by Tricentis for automation practice. In this application, you will pick up multiple products, go to the shopping cart, and then complete the checkout process. During the checkout process, you can choose different payment method like cash on delivery, money order, credit card, or purchase order. So there's going to be 4 different test cases in order to validate the shopping product flow. Instead of writing 4 different test cases, what I can do is I can create one template which will cover the end-to-end shopping product flow and create a test sheet which will have the 4 instances for the different payment method. Using the template and instances, I can create the test using the template and the test sheet, I can create the test instances which will be used for testing the 4 different payment methods. This way, I can cover multiple data combination testing using a single reusable template. Browser compatibility testing in Tosca. You need not write different test scripts for each browser. The single test case, whatever is written, can be used to cover up the testing across multiple browsers just by specifying the browser name in the execution section. So these are the browsers currently supported in Tosca, and you can do the browser compatibility testing. Test data management in Tosca. Not every automation tool provides this feature. So we have something called test data services in Tosca, using which you can organize the test data into a tabular format called types. And from here, the test data can be retrieved and passed on to the test case for steering the application. So the test data are stored separately out of the Tosca workspace in a repository which can be accessed through the browser. And advantage of this is any business user or QA team can access the test data without even entering into the automation tool. They can do any modifications required as per the release cycle, and this test data will be available to the automation engineers. The another advantage is it allows a bi-directional communication between the Tricentis Tosca and the test data services. Taking the example of this users table, I'm going to create an account using all these fields, and every time when we create an account, it has to be a new set of usernames. The repeated usernames is not allowed. Meaning the first name, if I'm taking it as Santa, I can create one account with Santa first name, and when I repeat it again with the same Santa user, it will say that there is a duplicate account. In that scenario, what I can do is I can add an additional column called state to this table, and once Tosca takes the user, performs the account creation process, it can come back and update in the TDS as the state equal to consumed, so that the next time when the execution is triggered, it can skip those test data which is updated with the status as consumed and then pick up the other data. This way, bidirectional communication between Tosca and TDS is possible. Integration with the test ecosystem. For any automation tool to sustain in the longer term, it should have the ability to integrate with other test management tools or other test tools in the ecosystem. In that way, Tosca supports integration with wider range of tools across the software development and testing lifecycle. For example, it can integrate with Jenkins, Bamboo, Azure, GitLab for the CI/CD pipeline execution. It can integrate with Jira, and then it can have a bidirectional flow between the Jira and the Tosca, updating the user stories or the defects details. It can integrate with ALM and Azure and provide the real-time execution result update to the tool. It provides a feasibility or the option to run the Selenium scripts from Tosca. It can integrate with any cloud platform tool like Perfecto or Browser Stack, allowing us to perform the cross-browser or cross-device compatibility testing. Service virtualization in Tosca. So consider your application is having a dependency with a third-party system, and the third-party system is handled by the onshore team. So you have to rely on them to perform the integration testing. In terms of costing also, there can be higher cost when you have to integrate with the external application, and the limited availability of the system is also a bigger challenge. In those cases, you can use the Tosca OSV feature and mark up those services, and this mocked up services will provide you the test data which can be used to perform the execution. Say for example, taking a flight booking application which has to integrate with the external API service providers to fetch the flight ticket cost or the number of seats or the flight duration. When you trigger the script from Tosca, instead of connecting to the real-time application, you can have the Tosca OSV mocked-up services which will simulate the real-time system and provide you with those data such as flight cost or the number of seats or the duration. And this data simulated from the OSV can be used to complete the testing. So with the OSV feature, testing becomes independent of the third-party system. Distributed execution in Tosca, otherwise called as DEX, allows us to perform the parallel execution or distributed execution, where you can distribute the execution scripts across multiple Tosca agents, and the execution will result in the lesser time. So DEX will help us to reduce the overall execution time, and it helps in CI/CD pipelines for the faster delivery. Inbuilt reporting in Tosca, when it comes to other automation tool, you have to rely on a third-party tool or third-party plugin to generate the reports. But when it comes to Tosca, it has the inbuilt reporting feature. It has like execution with actual log, execution with detail log, or Doku Snapper execution report, where you can generate your report in the form of PDF or in the form of Word, or even in the form of HTML or Excel spreadsheet. So different features are available to generate the report, and the reports generated will have the test step logs as well as the embedded screenshots. In a short while, we will do the actual automation script execution demo with the Tosca UA tool. There I will show you how the reports are generated and how the reports will look like. So in summary, Tosca is a codeless automation tool. It supports 160 plus technologies, and it's a model-based automation tool. End-to-end testing capability is possible. When it comes to maintenance, it is very much easier and lesser effort is required. Data-driven testing is possible in Tosca. Browser compatibility testing is possible in Tosca. And TDS, test data services, is available for test data management. Integration with other testing tools in the ecosystem is possible. Service virtualization, using Tosca OSV, you can mock up the services. And distributed execution is available for parallel execution, and you have the inbuilt reporting options. We came to the end of this overview on different features that is available in the Tosca. Let's jump into the actual automation using the Tosca tool. So this is the Tosca Commander UI, and these are the main sections which are available and essential for automating a test case. The first one is the module, where you'll create the modules from the different screens in the application, and it holds the technical informations. And the next comes the test case section. Here we will build the test cases from the module and fill up all the business informations like test data and the actions. And from this test cases, we will drag it into the execution section and trigger the execution so that the actual execution process happens and the report gets generated. Let's see it one by one. So I'm going to use vehicle insurance application, which is another demo application provided by Tricentis for automation practice. And in this vehicle insurance application, we can create an insurance quote by filling up all the different fields that is available on the screen. Let me show you how this works. So we have the automobile, for which you can create the insurance quote. And when you click on automobile, you'll get different sections like vehicle data, insurance data, product data, and then the price options. So under the vehicle data, you have different fields, like each fields of different type, like make is a drop down. And engine performance is a text box, and date of manufacturer is a date field, and again number of seats is a drop down, and fuel type is a drop down, and these are the text fields. So you can fill up all the data and click on next. It will take you to the next screen, insurance data, where again you need to fill up all the required fields and click on next so that it moves on to the next step. Let's try to automate both entering vehicle data and entering insurance data through Tosca. So in order to start with the automation, first you have to open the application and navigate to the particular screen which you want to capture it as a module. So right now I need to capture enter vehicle data as a module. So I'm keeping the screen open at that particular point, and then going back to the Tosca module section. Let's create a folder here first. So this is the option to create the folder, and create the name as vehicle insurance demo. From the folder, right click and go to scan application. So it is initializing the Xscan here. Once the Xscan is initialized, it will open a pop-up, and in the pop-up it will show all the list of applications that are currently opened in my machine. So Xscan is open and it is showing all the applications that are opened in my screen. I'm going to choose this vehicle insurance application and click on scan. As soon as I click on scan, it is trying to load all the structure that are available in the open screen. So it is showing all the web elements that are available in the screen. I'm going to use select on screen, and then select all the fields that are required for the automation. So as soon as I click on the particular field, you can see that is getting highlighted with the selected check button on the Xscan wizard. So let me select all the fields. So let me do select on screen and then condense this so that the Xscan wizard become minimized and allow us to select the fields easily, focusing on the application. So I have selected all the fields that are required from the application. Let's click on advanced. It will open the Xscan wizard and it will show the list of fields that are selected from the application. And those fields that are selected on the Xscan wizard will be showed as grayed out in the application, and the fields which are not selected will be shown as not highlighted. Say for example, license plate number, I haven't selected it, so it is not grayed out, while the other fields are highlighted and showed as a grayed out field because those fields are selected in the Xscan wizard. Right now, if we see, it is showing KW and MMDDYY, which is not meaningful because I'm not able to understand which field is this. As a best practice, you need to rename the field with a meaningful name. So KW is which field. To identify which field it is, keep your cursor on the particular field and click on highlight selection. It will show which field is related to that. So here it is engine performance. So rename it as engine performance. Similarly, keep your cursor on MMDDYY and click on highlight selection. It will show that date of manufacture is the field which is selected. So rename it as date of manufacture. So this is the usage of highlight selection, which will allow us to know which field from the application is selected on the Xscan wizard. Right now I have captured all the fields that are required to the vehicle data section, and if you take each field, it is given as uniquely identified, and this is uniquely identified because we have the technical properties that are automatically selected by Tosca when we select the field. For example, for make field, ID property and tag property is selected. If I uncheck ID property, it becomes not unique. If it is not unique, then Tosca cannot identify this particular control during the execution and the execution will fail. So it is essential that each element, whatever you are capturing here, it is made unique. So now it is unique. Okay, let's rename the module name. So this is for vehicle insurance. And it is for vehicle data, enter vehicle data. And the module level, it is identified by using either title or URL. Here we are using the title property to identify the screen. And as soon as the capture activity is done, click on save. This saves the module to the Tosca commander. And click on select new application to provide with the new scan. And before moving on with the select new application, go to the next screen which you want to capture. So I am going to capture the insurance data here. For that, I need to navigate first in the application and then click on that particular application in the Xscan wizard and then do scan. Now it will load all the properties that are available in the particular screen. So you can directly select from the Xscan wizard whichever field you want to select it by checking that field. Otherwise, you can use select on screen and then select it on the application. So I'm going to skip website and picture because which is not a mandatory field. So we have captured all the data related to the insurance data screen, and again here MMDDYY is meaningless. So let's highlight selection and find out which field from the application is selected. So it is date of birth. So let's rename it as date of birth. That's it. We are done with it. That's it. We are done with the next screen, insurance data. Rename it. and click on close. It will ask you whether you want to save the module. Click on yes. This will save the module and close the Xcan wizard. If you expand the vehicle insurance demo, you can see both the modules that we just captured. And the list of fields which is available under each module is referred as module attribute in Tosca, and this is referred as module, and module is identified using the title or the URL. So the right side, whatever you are seeing are the properties which are used to identify the particular component. We are done with the module creation. Let's see how to create the test cases. So go to the test case section, right click, and create a folder named Vehicle Insurance Demo. And right click on the test case folder and create the test case. Rename it as Automobile Codes. So the test case should have a proper structure like precondition, post condition or process, and post condition. So in the precondition, you will include all those steps that are necessary to set up the data or clear the cookies and then log into the application. Process is the folder where the actual process related to the business verification of the test cases will be included. And post condition is the place where you will include the steps to delete all the buffer data or reset the environment and log out of the application or close the browsers. So these are the three main folders, and inside the process folder, you can have the subfolders for each process. Say for example, in the demo workshop, we will create a test case structure in such a way that the process will have multiple sub-process folder. For each sub-process, you can design the test steps within that particular test step folder. This is how we structure the test case in Tosca. So once structuring the test case is done, let's start designing the test cases. So we have something called work state here. When you start planning for the test cases, the work state will be planned, and when you are starting with the design, it will change to in work. And once your design is completed, review is completed, and moving the test cases to the approved folder for the actual execution, then the work state will be changed to completed. So let's change the status to in work right now and start designing the test cases. The first part is launching the browser and opening the application. For that, we are going to use the inbuilt standard module provided by the Tosca. So go to the standard modules, expand the Tosca X engine. You have something called HTML folder. Inside that, we have OpenURL. So OpenURL is the standard module which can be used to launch the browser along with the specific URL. So drag the module and then place it under the precondition folder of the test case. Rename it to Open Automobile Application or Open Vehicle Insurance, and then pass the URL value to the URL attribute. So use active tab when set to true. It will open the application in any of the in the existing browser tab, and by default it is set to false, and Tosca opens the application in a new browser. And when it comes to web browser argument, you can pass any of the browser argument which can be used to control the way the browser is activated or browser is open. Say for example, if you want to open this URL in private mode, because I'm going to use the Edge browser, so you can pass the browser argument as in private, then the browser will be opened in private mode and the URL will be launched within that. If in case you are using the Chrome browser, then the argument has to be passed as incognito. So right now I'm going to open it in the Edge browser. So to indicate that the test case has to open the application in the Edge browser, I have to go to the test case section and go to the test configuration, right click on that and go for the configuration parameter. In the test configuration parameter, choose the value as browser. As soon as I choose the browser value, you will have a pick list value to select the browser value from the pick list. So let's select Edge because I'm going to run it in Edge. And this defines how the browser is launched and in which browser we are going to do the testing. So we are done with opening the applications and we are done with defining the browser using which you have to open the application. Let's design the test cases where you are going to enter the data. So you have to include one more step as well to navigate to the particular automobile screen. So I have to include that as well. Let me capture that quickly. Select the application, click on scan. Select all the navigation menu which is required. So I'm going to use URL instead of title for this. Let me save this module. So we have seen one way of creating the test step, like coming to the standard module section and then selecting the module, dragging and then dropping it into the test step. The other way is keep the cursor on the folder level where you want to create the test step and do Ctrl T. You will get the search and add test step open. Here, search for your particular module and the result will be shown here. Click on that to select the module and convert it into a test step. So here you have to click on automobile. So in order to ensure that the Tosca action waits until the control is available, you can give the action mode as wait on and then give exist equal to true. So this will allow Tosca to wait until the particular screen and the control is available. And then you can give the input action and give click. So click will trigger the mouse action click on the particular web control. So we have designed the step to navigate to the automobile. So the next step is to enter the data in both vehicle and the insurance data screen. So let's go back again to the test case section. Right click on the process folder, click on search and add test step and then search for vehicle insurance. So I have search for vehicle insurance. So I have the step for both. Enter the vehicle data and enter the insurance data. I have added both the modules as a test step here. So first for the entering vehicle data, let's fill up all the data. So you can see here the make is a drop down and it is showing all the value from the application. And so whenever you are creating a module in Tosca and if the web element is having a pick list, it will be automatically captured in the module under the value range section. You can also define your own value range here, which will be shown in the test case section. Say for example, for the list price, I'm defining my own value. So let's go back to the test case, fill up all the test informations which is required. Date of manufacture should be a past date. Here you can see that the user defined values are also getting populated. You can select any value. And here next is the action button. So when we navigate to the automobile, I have given a click operation. So instead of click, you can also give X or you can also give invoke of click. So the difference between click and X or the invoke click is that when you are giving a click operation, the real-time mouse intervention or the keyboard intervention is required. But when you are giving the X or the invoke of click, it will be independent of the mouse or the keyboard interaction, and it will steer the application internally. That's the advantage, and it will be very helpful when you are going for an unattended execution. So for the click, you can use X or the click. Next, let's come to the insurance data. Fill up all the required information. So this is a radio button. For each element, you will see a different icon. For the text box, it is shown as A. For the radio button, it is shown like this. And for the drop down, it is having a different icon. So you can go through each and then understand how it is displayed. And click on next again. I'm giving X operation here. So my test case is ready to navigate to the application and click on automobile and enter the vehicle data and insurance data. As a post condition, I need to close the application. I'm not going through the end-to-end flow. I'm just passing it, entering the insurance data, and then from there on, I close the application. For closing the application, again, a standard module is provided. So go back to the Tbox X Engine HTML, and we have something called close browser. So drag and drop the close browser to the post condition. Rename it to indicate what action we are performing. And in the title, we have to give the title. So if we give the title as vehicle star, it will check for the tab which is having vehicle as a title and then close that application. If we give star, it will close all the tabs that are open currently. So I'm going to give it a star. My test case is ready. Let's try to run it once in the Scratchbook. So let me close the Edge browser and right click on run in Scratchbook. So it is launching the application in Edge browser and clicked on automobile. Filling up all the data that is required in the vehicle data and filling up all the data that is required in the insurance data. Let's see what is the issue here. So syntax for the click is wrong. That's why you are getting this error. Let's correct that first. I have given a wrong basis here. So this is for the click operation. Let's run the test case in the Scratchbook and see the outcome. So it's launching the application in the Edge browser and then navigating to the automobile, filling up all the data in the vehicle data section, clicking on next and filling up all the data in the insurance data section. And then closing the application. So execution is successful. Let's make few more changes to the test case and then run it from the execution section. I'm going to add take screenshot step to take the screenshot at a particular test step. For that, go to the module section, go to Tbox Automation Tools and Basic Window Operation. We have something called take screenshot. Drag and drop it to the test case process folder level. I want to take the screenshot at entering the value of vehicle data and copy and paste the step again at the insurance data level, so that at these two places I'm going to take the screenshot. My test case is ready now. Let me change the work state to completed and drag and drop the test case to the execution folder level. Rename the execution list to vehicle insurance demo. So this is an execution folder and this is an execution list, and under the execution list we have the execution entry, which is the test case. So let's trigger the test case from the execution section now. Click on run. So it's launching the application in the Edge browser and waiting for the automobile icon to be available. Then it clicks on automobile and then fill up all the data as per the test step defined. Then it closes the application. Execution is successful. So once the execution is completed, all the test logs will be captured under the particular execution list, and this is how you can see the logs. And along with the logs, you can see the take screenshot step has captured the screenshot. So you can expand the screenshot and check it from here under the execution section, or you can right click, go for print report. We have execution entry with actual log and detailed log. Let's go for detailed logs here. So different formats are available: PDF, Excel, Word. I'm going to take the PDF format. Give your execution report a name and then click on save. So do you want to include the failed test cases only? No, I want all the test cases. And do you want to include the screenshots in between? Yes, I want to include in between. Click on OK. It will take few seconds to generate the report, and once the report is generated, the report gets opened automatically. So this is how the report looks. So you will have the summary which will tell about how many test cases were available and what is the pass percentage, and it will give you a graph. And this is the execution list name, and this is the test case name, and the test case is passed with the test step details of every action that has been performed along with the screenshots that is captured. So this is how the execution report looks. Let's go back to the test cases and try some of the inbuilt functionality that is provided by the Tosca to make the automation easier. Say for example, here the manufacture date, I'm giving it as a static value. So instead of giving it as a static value, what I can do is, there is an inbuilt date function which can be used. So let me try to use the date function which is available inbuilt. I'm going to give -5 years. So it will take a date value that is -5 years from now, and I wanted it to be in the format MMDD YY. You can define the format whichever is expected in your application. Based on that format, it will provide the value. So right click and translate value. It will show you how the data will be generated. So right now it is generated as 10/5/2020, depending on the syntax whatever we have given here. Again, this number I want to generate it as random value instead of giving 1000 all the times. I can use the random function and then define the range between which I wanted the value to be generated. So every time when the test execution is happening, it will generate a different value, and the different value can be used to pass to the application. So there are multiple inbuilt functions that are provided by the Tosca which can be used to make the automation more dynamic. So let's try to run this test case with this modified functions. So it's launching the application, waiting for the automobile link and clicking on automobile link and filling up the value now based on the functions whatever we have created. Execution is successful. So you can generate the test data dynamically using the inbuilt function that is provided in the Tosca. With this, we came to the end of the session. We have seen a demo on how to automate the application using Tosca, creating the module and designing the test cases, and then creating the execution list and executing it from the execution as well as the scratch book and generating the report. Also, we have seen different key features that are available in the Tosca and how it is making it as a unique tool comparing to the other tools in the market. With this, we came to the end of the session. Thank you for watching.